It's August 29th, 2013, and this is your good friends at Pocket Gamer showing you what's new and noteworthy and interesting on the App Store this week. It's the war of the side-scrolling Minecraft the likes as Terraria goes head-to-head with Junk Jack X and some endless runners and some puzzle games because, hey, it's the App Store. Enjoy. Terraria is often called a side-scrolling Minecraft, but that sells the experience just a little bit short. Yes, you can mine through blocks of dirt, and yes, you can craft raw materials into handy new items, but this is really a game about exploring the weird and wonderful mysteries in the game's randomly generated world. If you wander outside of your handmade homestead, you might stumble across a giant golden fortress or an underground jungle or a floating island. It's all about just discovering stuff. Port developer Code Glue has made a jolly good stab at the touchscreen controls. It's quite easy to mine blocks or place those blocks back down, but moving, jumping and most importantly combat is all a bit fiddly and finicky. Sadly, multiplayer is a no-show, but otherwise this is largely the full Terraria experience, with all the items, enemies, boss monsters, biomes and dynamic systems that you saw on the PC and Xbox 360 versions. You've got to admire the balls on developer Pic's bits. It knew full well that Terraria, the original and hugely popular side-scrolling Minecraft, was going to hit the App Store today, but decided to launch its own side-scrolling Minecraft anyway, and at the same price. But it might not be a suicide mission. Junk Jack X is better than Terraria in a number of ways. It has multiplayer, the controls are much better suited to mobile, and it's more welcoming to new players, I've found. It's also more focused on crafting and building ridiculous architectural wonders, though I don't want to sell the game's exploration short. X has different planets for you to visit, and there are hundreds, I think there's 1,600 treasures to find. Ultimately, the question you want answered is, which side-scrolling, dirt-digging, weapon-crafting, world-building, secret-fighting adventure should I buy? But I can't answer that yet. I've played a lot of Terraria, but I've only scratched the surface of Jack. So wait for the reviews, or just buy both if you're a millionaire. Oh hey, some games came out today that aren't about digging up rocks and turning them into stone pickaxes. That's fresh, like Fix the Leaks, which is a cute physics puzzler that takes some pretty hefty influence from Cut the Rope. In fact, this is like Cut the Rope in reverse. So your house is leaking jelly, obviously, and you've got to attach these fuzzy little critters to the ropes so they hang down and plug up the gaps. It's got lots of ideas actually. You start by making the fuzzy guys just dangle from ropes, but then you'll make them roll down the ropes and you'll use pulley systems. There's lots of ideas. You can get a free taster and then you can buy the rest if you fancy it. If Fix the Leaks was inspired by Cut the Rope, Link the Slug is borrowing ideas from another Zepto Lab game, Pudding Monsters, not Pudding the Monsters. It's got a very similar presentation style to Pudding Monsters and the same one-eyed jelly-like monster things. The idea is very different though. You tap on two slugs to cause an electrical charge to zap from one to the other and hopefully pick up some stars along the way. It's not as smart or as satisfying as Pudding Monsters though, and the basic concept is just not very fun to play. It's not hugely intuitive. I don't really understand why the zap goes one way and not the other, and that's just a killer for this sort of game where you want it to just be totally easy to understand. Save your 99p and pick up a better puzzler like Cut the Rope or Pudding Monsters or Where's My Water or anything else really. We really liked the original Joining Hands from 10 Tons. We called it polished, addictive and disarmingly sweet in our Silver Award review. This sequel really doesn't mess with the formula at all. You're still putting different critters next to each other on a grid to make them link hands. In fact, the opening of the game is so similar to the original that you might think you've bought the wrong game. You'll soon be introduced to new Peeblin chums though, like this old guy here who has a beard. There's lots of new levels and a hint system and all that sort of stuff. But if you just got the first game for free as part of 10 Tons' launch promotion, then you probably won't need this very similar sequel for quite a while. It's another movie tie-in and another lifeless endless runner. Oh, okay, I'll confess, Max Steel isn't a movie yet. He's just a toy line at the moment with a feature film on the way, which seems to be doing absolutely everything out of order, but never mind. It's a dull as dirt Temple Run clone where you leap over rocks, slide under obstacles, pick up coins and get into these gesture-driven fights with robot monsters. Okay, that bit's not very Temple Run, but the rest is. It's all a bit bland and it has a dubstep soundtrack, which I know you know I hate. Probably avoid this one. I'm sick of it already.
Go turbo! Speed!
I thought Bravoman might be quite good. It's very sort of tongue-in-cheek, self-aware parody of Mega Man. It's got a cool retro soundtrack and it's apparently a big hit in Japan. The gameplay though, not so good. It's a very rote, very repetitive, endless runner where you sort of mindlessly tap on these mannequin crash test dummy-like enemies and try to avoid those guys who are like the most annoying enemies since the Medusa heads in Castlevania. It's all just a bit bland and done. I don't like it. Bye!